All right, today we're jumping into a really interesting philosophy, especially for anyone who feels kind of stuck or is facing a tough time. It's this powerful idea that says the key to getting help isn't really about asking for it, but about earning it first through a very specific kind of effort. Okay, let's just dive right in with this statement. It's pretty challenging, right? But the point here isn't to make anyone feel bad. It's really to spotlight a huge fundamental shift. The argument is that today, in an age with so much opportunity, personal hardship often doesn't come from a lack of options. It comes from how we've used the options we were given. And, getting that distinction is really the first big step toward a whole new solution. So to really get this whole philosophy, we've got to break down one crucial difference, what hardship looked like back then versus what it looks like today. Now, what's fascinating here is how this frames the problem. Think about it. In the past, maybe after a big war, poverty was a collective thing. Everybody was in the same boat, just trying to survive, and the rules were totally different. But today, in a pretty stable, ordered society, well, the argument is that hardship has become much more individual. It's not that opportunities don't exist in the world. It's more about how we've handled the talents and chances we've been given. The old playbook just doesn't apply anymore. And that big difference, that shift, it leads us right to the core idea we're talking about today. It's the sort of natural law that seems to govern how, and more importantly, when, help actually shows up in our lives. 30%? That's the number. It's kind of the magic number here. That's your share of the work, the part that is 100% on you. And believe it or not, it's the key that unlocks absolutely everything else. So this idea is called the 3-7 law. And it's simple, really. You have to put in your 30% first. But here's the catch. It can't just be going through the motions. We're talking about sincere, bone-deep effort. And the real insight here, the big aha moment, is that the other 70%, the help from people, the lucky breaks, the new opportunities, that stuff only shows up after you've proven you're serious. Help doesn't give you a starting push. It meets you along the way. Okay, so let's walk through how this actually plays out. It's a pretty clear cause and effect. Step 1, you do the work. You put in your 30%, no questions asked. Step 2, that genuine effort, well, it gets noticed. People who are in a position to help, they see it. And then, step 3, once you've proven it, that's when a helper shows up. See? The help is a response to your work. It's not a handout to get you off the couch. All right, so that's the theory, but what does this 30% effort actually look like in the real world, in practice? So yeah, let's break that down. What do you actually have to do to make this happen? Well, according to this philosophy, that 30% is really all about your attitude. It's about being humble. It's about swallowing your pride and letting go of your ego. It means you see that small, maybe even boring task right in front of you, and you just do it, gratefully. And here's the most important part. You're doing it for yourself, to become a better person, not because you're trying to impress somebody. And wow, check out this personal story. It's a perfect illustration of this whole idea. The speaker talks about how he spent 17 years cleaning up other people's trash in the mountains. Think about that. Not for money, not for applause, but just as a personal practice, a way to learn humility. I mean, if that's not the definition of 30% effort, I don't know what is. Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting and a little more complex. It's not just about doing this kind of humble work forever and ever. There's a twist. There's a point where your job is actually supposed to change. You see, these tasks, like picking up the trash, they're basically lessons. They're there to teach you something specific, something essential, like humility. But once you've actually learned it, once you've passed the test, well, your work on that lesson is done. It's like graduating. You're meant to move on to the next level, to take on new, more meaningful responsibilities. And this trash analogy just nails it. When you're the student of humility, your job is simple. Pick up the trash you see. But after you've learned that lesson, your role completely flips. Now your job is to leave the trash. Why? Because it's no longer your lesson to learn. It's now someone else's opportunity to grow. And if you don't evolve, if you don't move on, well, it's not just bad for you. It actually hurts other people. By sticking with a task you've already mastered, you're literally taking away a learning opportunity from someone who desperately needs it. And the thinking goes, the universe isn't going to send someone else to do that job if you're still stubbornly doing it yourself. All right, let's pull all of these ideas together. Let's create a simple path forward that you can actually use in your own life. So here's the game plan in 4 steps. Step 1. You gotta own it. Acknowledge that your past actions led you here. Step 2. Commit to that 30% effort. No excuses. Step 3. Find the humble work right in front of you and do it with gratitude. And finally, step 4. Get smart enough to know when the lesson is over and it's time to level up. When you boil it all down, that's what this is all about. It's a simple but really profound message. Know your place, do your work humbly, and have the wisdom to know when it's time for that work to change. So that leaves us with one last question, and this one is for you. Really think about it. Looking at your life, your challenges, right here, right now, what is the work that is truly yours to do? What's your 30%?